Hey everybody, Patty Ann here. I've got something fun to show you today, and it's good for people who have Cricut machines or Silhouette machines. We have a free SVG for you over at PattyAnnesPlace, and I'll give you the link below. And there's a separate SVG for Cricut users and another SVG if you use Silhouette, Cameo, or any other Silhouette machine. So follow me down here to my desktop and let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay, this is what I'm talking about, these super cute gift ideas. These are like a portable stationery station for cards. If you know somebody who loves to give away cards or send cards, a lot of moms and grandmas, and I guess some younger people like to do that still. But if you're looking for a gift for them for this Christmas or whatever, that'll give you plenty of opportunities to have fun playing with cardstock, this is the secret. Listen. They're just made out of cardstock and paper. So here's one I just recently made. You could put a nicer bow on that. I just didn't get around to all of that yet. But it opens up like this. And of course it would stand up like this on their table. And then it would open up like this. And here's the writing station down here. And I'll show you what else you can put down here in a second. And then inside, 6 cards fit back here and 6 envelopes. Remember, I like to buy the envelopes from Staples because they fit my A2 cards perfectly. And then there's a little place here for note cards. I just cut some out of the cardstock that I had already had. And of course, this should be standing up. It's just blank on one side. This could be for another thing, for stickers or something like that. But this is one that I've made, and then the top, of course, just goes right on it. It's really sturdy, and I think they'll really enjoy it. Put this on backwards. This was the back. I used 2 different colors of papers, but it doesn't matter. You can do however you like. So there's the way it usually goes. But as I said, I like to use the envelopes from Staples. I'll have a link down below in case you don't have a Staples, because the reason why I like to use these is because our cards that are A2 size fit perfectly in these envelopes. So if you like making cards, but you don't send that many, or you make so many more than you can send, again, this is a perfect gift for you to give away. And 6 cards and 6 envelopes will fit in your gift. Let me just show you, this was my very first prototype that I made. This one was made where I just used a ruler and I cut with a rotary blade just by hand. I followed the directions on Maymay's website, and you can go to maymaymadeit.com and you can look up her directions there. But now I have developed, and I've had some help from some other people that are working together with me sometimes to get things made up. I want to give a special shout out to Nancy for helping me come up with the design for the Cricut people, and for Tammy for all the testing that she always does. But anyway, this is the other one. Open it like this, and of course, again, it would stand up like this on your desk. Then when you open this one up, I added some more things to it. This one has a place for notes, and I did have note cards in here originally. Took them out though. This is for stamps, if you want to give your recipient some stamps as well. And then down here, there's a place, now I fit this to a specific pen, but there's a place where they can keep their pen. And then once again, 5 or 6 cards and envelopes would fit in here. And they would just close it up like this. And again, it would be a super cute gift for you to make and to give. So let's go to Cricut Design Space and see how we'll make this there. Okay, if you click on my website, the first thing you may see is this box that pops up. And if you're interested in finding out more about how to use Silhouette software, I highly recommend this class. It's once a week. You get a class that's walking you through step by step getting started with Silhouette. And right now, for a limited time, it's free. Okay, and I promise you, you are going to love these classes. My very favorite one, of course, is the last one, where I teach you all about using the trace tool so you can make your own SVGs. So I highly recommend that you join this. You get a video link once a week for 5 weeks with a new class. So let's X that out because we want to go to the library now. Right here it says Library of Free Files. I'm going to click on that and I come to this page that says it's password protected. And so I know the password because I've either joined the newsletter. Well, that's the best way to get it. Join the newsletter, actually. So sign up for that as well. If you've not done that yet, you can get the library password simply by clicking right here. You'll get a newsletter immediately, and the password will be there. So I'm going to put in the password and hit enter on my keyboard. And then I come here where I can see all of the files that we have so far. Now, of course, the one that you really want right now for this class is this one down here on the lower left that says Stationery Box. So I'll just click on that and it will start downloading if you're using Chrome. Right here in the left-hand side, you see where it says Stationery Box Zip? So I would just click on that and it opens it up like this. But I can't use these files yet because they're zipped up. They're just showing what's in here. So what I need to do is I need to say extract all. And I'm just going to extract it to exactly where it says to extract it to. And that's all I need to do there. So let's go back now, or let us go to Cricut Design Space. And I've already uploaded it once, but let me do it again to show you how this works. I'm going to go to Upload an Image, Browse, and I'm going to look for the one, there will be two files in the zip file. I need to look for the one that says Stationery Box for Cricut, and double click on that to open that. But I also need to do something else in that same area. I need to do this. I need to look at this. Stationery Box Instructions for Design Space. And these give you the exact instructions that you need to follow to do this. So I'm going to quickly take a picture of that on my phone so I won't have to keep going back to that page, but I'll have it right here. Get to it. All right. So before doing any ungrouping, it says size the whole group to 9.759. And actually, the newer one version I have up here has a different number, but you'll see it in the Read Me First instructions. So I'm going to go to Cricut Design Space again, and I'm going to click on this and say Save. Then I'm simply going to click on it and insert it. And now what the new instructions will tell you to do is to resize it to 9.553. So before I do anything with this file, I'm going to make sure that this lock is locked, and I'm going to resize the width to 9.553 and hit enter on my keyboard. And that automatically resizes everything. That makes it a little bit too big for my screen, so I can come down here to the minus sign and change it like that. Okay, the next thing, number 2, or let's see, 3 says to do, ungroup once to get the 3 colors by groups. So I'm going to click on this and just say ungroup. And then I should have a green group, a blue group, and a yellow group. Okay, number 4 says ungroup the yellow, no further action is needed. And if you're all just going to make everything the same color with this, you don't even need to ungroup these. So we're going to move these way over here out of the way. Okay, and then the next says, number 5 says, ungroup all the cyan or blue pieces. Separate out the 2 pieces with labels and score lines. Okay, let's move this. Let's get the blue, and we're going to click on it and ungroup it by coming up here, or you can right click and say ungroup. Then we're going to separate the 2 pieces out that have names on them, and these are going to be score lines soon. Move this over. Okay, so it says number 6, for each of the 2 blue pieces with labels, ungroup and delete the labels. So I'm going to right click on this and ungroup, or I can come up here to the upper right and ungroup. Then I'm going to click off, click back on the label. That's all I have right now, so I'm going to delete it. I'm going to do the same with this one. I'm going to right click, say ungroup, click off, then click back on just to get the label and delete. Let's see, for number 7 now. Now, each of these two pieces is grouped with its score lines. Ungroup each piece. I'm going to ungroup this one, and I'm going to ungroup this one. Select the piece and its score lines and attach. So I'm going to select the piece and its score lines just like that, and come down here to attach. Now, you know whatever you've worked on most recently ends up at the top of your layers panel. So I need to scroll back up to get up here. And what I'm going to do is click off so nothing is selected. Then I'm just going to select these cut lines, which are actually the score lines over here. And I'm going to come up here to where it says line type cut. I'm going to change it to score, and watch what happens to those lines in that top rectangle. You see that? They changed to score lines just like that. So that one's done. I'm going to do the same with this one now. I'm going to grab all of it, come down here to the bottom and say attach, because I'm attaching those score lines. And then remember, the last thing I worked on will be the first thing up here at the top. I only want to get the cut lines, this cut line, not the blue rectangle, these, and I'm going to change those from cut lines, because I don't want them to cut, to score lines, like that. Perfect. Now the blue's all done, and if I want to, I can group those back together, highlight them all and say group, or right click and group. So now I have some green pieces to work on the same way. I'm going to ungroup these. I'm going to move this guy over and this guy over. There are 3 pieces of the green. Eventually you may want to change these 2 pieces, the 2 pieces on the right here, to a little different shade of green so they'll go on their own mat. But right now we'll just follow the directions. So it said to right click or ungroup, click on the word and delete it. Click on this one. Ungroup by coming up here in the layers panel or right clicking, then click on the word and delete. Click on this one. Right click or go to the layers panel and ungroup, and click on the text and delete. And then the next thing it said to do was come over here and highlight all of the lines, all of it, and say attach. Now where did that go? It's the last thing I worked on, so it's up at the very top, right up here. I don't want the rectangle or the green thing. I just want these lines, and I want to change those lines from cut lines to score lines. That. Perfect. That piece is done. We'll do the same with this one. I'm going to grab all of it and say attach. Where'd it go? It's up at the very top. Both parts are selected. We only want these lines, and we're going to change them from cut lines to score lines. Perfect. Now notice this part did not turn to score lines. It's still a cut line. It's the way it's supposed to be. Okay, go to this last one right here. Same thing. Highlight it all. Attach. Where'd it go? To the top. Grab only these cut lines. We don't want the green part. Come over here to line type, change it to score, and that's exactly what we need. So we're pretty much done now. I'll show you why I said you might want to change this to a different color of green, because if we go to make it right now, the yellow is fine. It's going to take 2 pieces of cardstock, but look at the green. They want you to use the great big mat. I don't have a great big mat like that. And I tried to change it into 12 by 12, but I didn't see that being an option. So what I did was I just said cancel, And what I did to make it easier on myself was I made this one large piece. Actually, I made the one large piece a little bit different color of green. And so when I click on it, that highlights it over here in the layers panel. Then I can just highlight the green part, and notice now I can change its color up here with this little color thingy. And I'll change it to that. Now let's see what happens when we go to make it. It fits perfectly on this size of a mat, and the other green is on the other side, or the other color of green. It's just perfect like that. So that's pretty much it, how you do it in Cricut Design Space. The most important thing is that in the very beginning, when you're resizing it, when everything is together, you resize this to 9.553. 9.553. So then you would just go to make it, and I'll have a link below this video that has one of my older videos that shows how to put this thing together after you have it all cut out. So now if you were in Silhouette, let's look over there quickly. Here we are in Silhouette. We don't need to change anything in Silhouette. You'll just bring it in. Your score lines will already be there perfectly for you. All you need to do is go to Send. Well, no, not quite. Look at that mess. Let's go back to Design. I've got to ungroup this thing. And then I can take some of these pieces off bit by bit. So let me do the blue pieces first. Just put those here. And we'll go to Send and see what happens there. Okay, they can't be overlapping each other like that, because look what's going to cut. They're going to be a mess. So you can change them around on your mat like this and get them to fit, hopefully. So what I'd probably do now, so what I would do now is go back here, and I would make these all fit perfectly on the mat. Now when they're like this, of course, we can rotate them over here so they'll fit like that. And they're ready to go. So I would just go to Send, and that's perfect. Oh, but wait, there's something else we must do. And if you don't do this, I can show you what happens. So let's go back to Design. And what we need to do is we need to ungroup this buddy right here and get rid of the word Note. We need to ungroup this guy right here and get rid of, oopsie, and click off, then back on, and get rid of the word Tag. If we don't do that, let me show you what happens. Okay, this is one of my bloopers. This is one of the boxes I was working on, and I forgot to ungroup and delete the text. And look what happened. Can you see that? It cut that text right out of these little things right here. Certainly not what I wanted at all. So this was just a prototype, and I was just getting to learning what I was doing. Notice I even have lines over here because it took a while, a lot of thinking for me to figure out, okay, how do I do this? So I hope you really enjoy using these and making them and giving them as gifts. I'd love to see the color combinations that you come up with. I think they're a lot of fun. And again, I'll have the link below to the video so that you can watch the next part of how to put these boxes together. Just remember when you're on my website to make sure that you get the proper SVG, whether you're using Silhouette or whether you're using Cricut. And with Cricut, people, you must remember to resize before you change anything else, before you ungroup anything, and you're going to resize it to 9.553. That number will be in the name of the file, so that will help you to know what to resize it to. Well, I hope you enjoyed this, and I appreciate you coming. Please share this with your friends. Let them know about my website. Let them know about my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get to 20,000 subscribers still, so I appreciate it if you share it. Thanks again. Bye-bye.